just working on my lock picking skills. Just, you always have to have weird little hobbies. Um, I started a long time ago with learning how to pick locks. Um, so, yeah, I have a lock pick set that I'm sure I could get in, it's not legal to have, so I don't carry it with me in public. But yeah, I'm pretty good at picking locks. Like, I'm trying to get this master lock. This is like a hardened, super high security master lock that's supposed to be very difficult to pick. But, if you take your time and you kind of learn how to do it, it's actually not that hard to pick locks. You just kind of have to know what the little feeling is when you put a little tension spring on it. Use a little tension spring and you kind of pick the tumblers and, let's see if I get it real fast here. I hear them clicking. I hear them. Can you hear them click? Oh, well. Anyway, yeah, that's one of those stupid things that I learned how to do over the years is pick locks. So that's my latest one I'm trying to pick. Just don't ask, all right? I know. I have really quirky hobbies. Um, I've actually picked locks using paper clips and bobby pins, like reels. Like, okay, hold on, like click. And someone's like, how did you do that? I'm like, well, you practice long enough, you kind of get the technique for it. And most house locks and things are not high security at all. It's like stupidly easy to pick locks. So yeah, not really super secure, just so you know, especially older ones that have had a lot of use that are kind of worn down. Just saying. There's some Randsanity for you right there. Welcome to episode 158. I did figure it out. Episode 200 will happen on the 17th of December. December 17th. So we'll see what that brings with episode 200. Yeah, I don't know if that's, we've got what? 42 to go. 42 to go. 42 days to go till episode 200. So, I mean, Thanksgiving will have already come and gone, and Christmas will be like a week away. We'll see. We'll see where we're at, man. This is, we're getting down to the wire here. I'll hopefully be done talking about the building at that point, and something will happen with it, and there'll be some official news, and I can be like, yes, I don't have to pay multiple mortgages, which is a joy if you've ever had a multiple mortgage and it's not for a rental property. Not the best, just going to say. Just saying. I did not go down to the building today at all. I took the day off. He's like, tomorrow. I'm like, no, I can't. I mean, literally, I did Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. 5 straight days of that was enough. I was like, nope, I'll go for 3 hours tomorrow because there's someone to pick up a bunch of stuff, and then Saturday, and then I'm pretty much done. I'm like, just tell them all to come, or just don't get it. Just refund their damn money. I don't want to do this anymore. I just don't. I have to go and just literally just throw everything, all the garbage away and move stuff and go through everything now. I called a shredding place today to, how much is it to shred? Well, if we drive to you, it's like $200 for this many boxes of butt. But if you come to us, it's $4 a box. I'm like, I guess I'll be driving to you with a box. He goes, well, how many do you have? If you have like 4 or more, I'm like, 4 or more? I'm like, bro, I'm going to have like 100 for real. I'm going to have 100 bankers boxes to shred. I have to keep a bunch of legal documents for businesses, but there's a lot that I don't have to keep anymore. And I won't. But yeah, it's client stuff, but it's not stuff that I have to keep, according to business record deals. So I'm like, oh yeah, I'm going to be shredding a lot. This is going to be, like CIA level shredding. Be like, here's a truckload, shred it. Anyway, how's everyone doing tonight? Good, I hope. I hope doing well. It was a beautiful day. Wow, what an amazing day. It was nice and warm and sunny. That wind really picked up to the end of the day. I got to enjoy being out on the porch, on the deck of the house I'm working on, cutting trim. So it was beautiful. the sawdust was blowing away from me, and the breeze was beautiful, and I'm up on the deck, and yeah, it's just one of those days that I don't mind doing all the hard work. I will say that my guardian angel, or the ghost of the owners of the house, saved my ass today for real. So this deck has a step. So it's not like, door, deck. It's door, step, deck. Again, this was a drunken dude weekend project, apparently, when it was originally made. And I always forget that step's there. And it's, dangerous. It's a second floor deck. And if you fall, you're going to go toward the railing and whatever. I forgot the step tonight. And I had my arms filled. Like, I had both hands full of stuff. And I went off the deck. And I'm off the step. And I was like, I felt my heart just was like, oh, this is bad. I'm about to die. Like, I'm going to hit the ground so hard. There's stuff in front of me. It's this, there was that moment of just sheer adrenaline panic that this is going to be bad. And I had my leather jacket on. The door, then the wind pushed it. The door shut, and it's a hook handle. It caught right here on my leather jacket, and I was like, oink, and it just stopped me. And I was just like, oh, I dropped it. I was holding and grabbed the door, and I'm like, oh, I was like, that was amazing. I did not get hurt. I was tired. I should have stopped working because it was dark out. It was already 7 o'clock, and I was still, sawing. So I was like, I can just finish. I just want to get done. I don't want to get everything out again. And I just for 3 little cuts. I did finish the cuts, but yeah, that was Guardian Angel, Felix the Cat level, 9 lives kind of thing. So thanks for that. Whoever decided to not let me go crashing into the saw and everything else tonight. I do appreciate that. Truly, I do. Thank you so much. All right. Again, music, TV, film, all sorts of stuff mixed in, mostly music, no particular order, edited for your leisure and mine, and sometimes researched, sometimes not. So let's dive in. Episode 158 of Randsanity on 11/5, November the 5th. Elections have come and gone. And there you go. 1988, the song Kokomo by the Beach Boys, the single featured in the film Cocktail, apparently goes to number 1. This is the first number 1 that the Beach Boys had in over 20 years. It wasn't like, I guess it's because it was in Cocktail? I don't know. I don't think I ever actually saw that movie completely. I'm not a huge Tom Cruise fan. I liked him in, what was that one where he was less whatever? He was the agent. But I don't know. I've just never really been a huge Tom Cruise fan. So, I've never seen the pool one with him and Redford. I don't even know what it is. That's the thing. My brain's toast, but anyway, Kokomo, number 1 by the Beach Boys after 20 years. 2002, the inductee list for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is out, and it is Pat Benatar and Neil Giraldo, Duran Duran, Eminem, Eurythmics, Dolly Parton, Lionel Richie, Carly Simon, Judas Priest, and others. Judas Priest, I was talking about bands that, last night I talked about Squeeze, and the night before I talked about Adam Ant, bands that I've seen decades apart. Judas Priest was one of those. I saw Judas Priest the first time in, I think it was the Asbury Park Convention Center. 19, I think it was maybe the 70s, and it was maybe or early 80s. Anyway, someone really, really, and then saw him again. Rob Halford, same voice. Older, looks like a fat Santa with leather on, but same voice. Still sounded great. Still hit the high notes. Still screeching it out there. Still, screaming for vengeance with the Green Man, Alicia, two-prong crown, all of that. But yes, inducted to Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. 1966, the TV band The Monkees scores their very first Billboard #1 hit with The Last Train to Clarksville, written by Bobby Hart and Tommy Boyce. They wrote a lot of the Monkees songs. They also wrote a lot of other songs, and they made a couple of their own songs. They had like 4 top 5 songs throughout their own career. Now, it's funny. So apparently, Bobby Hart heard the Beatles and Paul McCartney singing Paperback Writer. And for some reason, he thought instead of the words paperback writer, he thought they said the last train, take the last train. Take the last train, paperback writer, take the last train. I don't know. I tried to get it to work, the wordplay, the wordsmith, but it didn't for me. Maybe I read it wrong, or I just don't have the proper tonation. But anyway, that's where he got the inspiration from. He thought it was saying, take the last train, as opposed to paperback writer. Smoke less pot, Bobby. Smoke less pot. 1967, the Hither Green rail crash occurs in the UK. Apparently this is a really big crash, the Hither Green station. 49 people were killed. Hundreds were injured. One of the actual survivors that walks away relatively unscathed happens to be B.G. Robin Gibb. Who knew? You know, that's where those final destination moments where you kind of get off the train, you're like, okay, I guess we're good. I don't know. I kind of was like that today. I was kind of like, we're good? Okay. I didn't crash. Thanks for stopping that. Speaking of elections, 1996, Sonny Bono of Sonny and Cher is re-elected by California voters to the U.S. Congress. Congressman Bono. I do remember he was a congressman. I think he died by hitting a tree skiing, if I'm not mistaken. He was one of those guys that crashed into the trees. Like, bro, don't ski into the trees. I mean, I've gone, backcountry skiing, but you go a little bit slower. So if you hit the tree, it's not deadly. You got to ski within control. Even I know that, and I'm reckless. Ask Andy Strange about that one. Oof. I saw him recently. A guy I knew from ski club. Remember, I was the president of the Ohio State University Ski Club. This thing right here, look at that. I still have the card that says it. 19 lifetime member, president of the ski club. Largest collegiate organization in the country at the time. But anyway, skiing, we did a bonsai run. Everybody kind of went at the same time, and we were kind of bombing down the hill. And I was not a great skier. Okay, I'm never going to tell anyone like I'm a great skier. I was a brazen skier. Okay, brazen, reckless. I don't say I was dangerous, but I was definitely reckless and brazen. Like, I definitely skied way beyond my skill sets. Hey, let's go down this double black diamond. Okay, let's go. I mean, what's the worst can happen? I'll crash. Yeah. So I definitely went way past and did a lot of really ridiculously stupid things skiing over the years. And I mean, whoa. Scale of 1 to 10, an 11 for sure. But anyway, Andy Strange was the recipient of a love tap once, where we went bombing down the hill, and he was in front of me and stopped, kind of did a sideways stop, and I didn't have the ability to do that at that moment. He stopped too quickly right in front of me, and I just creamed him. I mean, full speed. Just broadsided him. I don't know. I probably flew 30 yards, airborne 30 yards going down the hill, and just like hit the ground and slid. It was like kind of shook off the cobwebs. But yeah, Andy was flat. I knocked him out cold before he even hit the ground. He was unconscious. He had to go down with the ski patrol and everything. It was bad. I just felt bad about that. Felt bad for that for a long time. Didn't injure him permanently, but yeah, definitely didn't ski well for the rest of the week. Oops. Death by Misadventure. 2010, Keith Richards' autobiography, Life, tops the New York Times bestseller list, and it goes on to sell over 1 million copies. 1 million copies. Not too shabby for Mr. Keith Richards. Apparently, lots of people want to know what he's up to and how his life works. 1956, jumping from 2010 to 1956. 1956, the Nat King Cole Show, a musical and variety show, premieres on NBC TV. The Cole Show is the very first of its kind to be hosted by an African American. Nat King Cole. 1971, The King. As always, Elvis Presley kicked off a 15-date North American tour in Metropolitan Sports Center in Minneapolis. The screaming fans did not want to leave the show afterwards and continuously chanted for an encore, not leaving the venue clearly after the show was done. The announcer, Al Dvron, D-V-R-O-N, uttered the now famous and well-known phrase, "Elvis has left the building." It had to come from somewhere, so there it is. Came from that show. Elvis has left the building. He was actually asked to do that because in the effort to kind of quiet and settle down the fans and get them to move along, because they, again, would not leave the venue and continued to chant for an encore. Elvis has left the building. There it is. Happened in 1971 in Minneapolis. So now you know if there's a little reference to Elvis has left the building. As you remember that, you were president of OSU Ski Club. Hello, hello. Yes, I was. I was the president of the Ohio State University Ski Club. What's up there, Notorious S. Gate? How are you? Yes, I was the notorious president of the ski club. It was an insane time. I cannot. To recap that, I could write a mini autobiography on just those years in ski club. The sheer just craziness of that. Again, it was a fraternity. It was a sorority. It was the largest in the country, the largest on campus. I mean, we had 2,500 members. I mean, you know, that's a lot, or 25,000. I mean, something ridiculous. 2,500. It was just ridiculous amounts of fucking members for this thing. And it was a drinking club. We skied a little bit. It was a drinking club, you know, with skiing on the side. 1977, the manager of the Virgin Record store in Nottingham, England, was arrested by the police. This was done because he was displaying a poster. The poster was advertising the new Sex Pistols album, Never Mind the Bollocks. Here's the Sex Pistols. Now, I have that poster, and somewhere there's a picture of me with that poster. From the radio station years ago, because we used to be hanging in the hallway of the radio station. More stores on High Street, which I guess is right there in Nottingham, England, banned the sale of the album after the police came around and told them in no uncertain terms that they could be fined under the 1898 Indecent Advertising Act. Come on, really? This is 1977. You have to dip back to 1898? Why do we do that? It's like, it's on the books from the 1700s. Like, really? Times have changed and modernized a little bit. Maybe you might want to think about not using that statute. That's just me. I'm just saying. 1983, Billy Joel was #1 in the UK with his single Uptown Girl. Now, Billy Joel if you've seen him, isn't exactly the biggest, most handsomest looking guy, but apparently when you're number one and you got lots of talent and lots of dough, that song was initially written about his girlfriend of the time, supermodel Elle Macpherson. But it later ended up being about his soon-to-be wife, Christie Brinkley. Both being two of the most famous supermodels of the 1980s. So, there you go. Billy Joel dating Elle Macpherson and Christie Brinkley marrying her. God love Billy Joel. There you go. Topper Hedren of The Clash was arrested on this day, November the 5th, 1983, for drunken walking his dog on London's Fulham Road. I had to Google London's Fulham Road and looked at it like, okay, is this like, the M5 or something? Like, how wasted do you have to be to get arrested for walking your dog drunk? I can only assume that he was like in the street or doing something more than just walking drunk. I mean, come on, Fido, let's go. I mean, how hammered do you have to be to get arrested walking your dog? I'm just curious. I mean, I may have been detained by the police once or twice, but never for walking. There was always some other stupid activity involved in said detention. It wasn't just, in fact, stumbly walking. What can I say? I've lived a life. The song, The Locomotion. Locomotion with me. Come on, every Lou, the locomotion. It became, and this is 1998. I didn't put the date because it's at the end. The song, The Locomotion, became the first song in the U.S. top 5 3 times. At 3 different versions from 3 different artists in 3 different decades. 1962, Little Eva got into the top 5. 1974, Grand Funk Railroad, that's the version most people know. And then 1998, Kylie Minogue again got into the top 5. So again, just copy somebody else's song, sing it, and get onto the Billboard chart. I'm thinking I'm just going to have to just start singing every song I'm putting out there. And at some point, maybe one of them won't be horrible. I have to think, where's my vocal range at this point? Still got that high note. 1994, Sheryl Crow was number 1 in the UK with her first number 1 from All I Want to Do. In the US, it debuted at number 4. Now, part of this album, though, Crow became the first US female to have 6 hits off of her debut album, Tuesday Night Music Club. 6 hits. Now, when it says a hit, remember, we talked about one-hit wonders the other night to answer that question that someone asked about one-hit wonders. One-hit wonders does not require that person to have a number 1 hit. All it requires is that they have a hit that's in the top 40. One song in the top 40, but that's it. They can't have others. If they have a number 1 hit and a number 27 hit, it's not a one-hit wonder anymore because they have 2 in the top 40. So they have to have a one-hit wonder, only works if they have a single song that charts once and it's in the top 40. So anywhere from 40 to number 1. That is a one-hit wonder. So those one-off bands that hit it big with some quirky, kitschy, squirrely little number and then fall back into obscurity because people are like, who are you? What are you doing? Yeah, well, you had your 15 minutes of fame. Andy Warhol already gave it to you. You're out of here. 1998, Morrissey, our man of Meet Is Murder from the Smiths, lost an appeal. Now, this sounds like Morrissey. The appeal was that he wanted all band profits should be split equally. Well, he didn't get that to happen for him. So he faced the back penalty and the back payout to former bandmate Mike Joyce at estimate $1.6 million. Yeah, I don't owe you that money. Yeah, you kind of do, Morrissey. Yeah, you kind of do. And the courts have now upheld that you need to pay. Pay for that, sir. 2000, U2 went to number 1 on the UK album chart with All That You Can Leave Behind. It was the 8th UK number 1 album for the band U2. It was also in the single in UK. Now, why were they not number 1 in the US on the singles? Because the number 1 single in the US was Creed. And the song With Arms Wide Open. Creed. Number 1 on this date, November the 5th, 2000. Have we progressed past that? I hope so. 2002, the funeral for Jam Master Jay happens, and he is laid to rest after his murder on October the 30th. Jam Master Jay was assassinated by a single bullet. And to this day, no one has been convicted for the murder of Jam Master Jay of Run DMC. All right, I'm doing that because, one, you didn't hear the motor go off yet tonight, did you? Because I remembered to turn the heater off. And two, I saw the timer counting down, so I got that so the screen didn't go black. So Todd, if you're out there, didn't screw up tonight, at least not that part. I didn't have the heater go off, and I didn't have the screen turn black. And I didn't choke on whatever I was drinking. It's always good. Bobby Hatfield of the Righteous Brothers died. Now this is I shortened this. He was about to go on stage. He's 63 years old. He's about to go on stage. Like literally minutes before he was on stage, they went back to like, Mr. Hatfield? Mr. Hatfield didn't answer his door. And he was dead. Now, the coroner said that this, again, I love this explanation. He died of a sudden, the reason for it was a sudden, unexpected death due to cocaine toxicity. I say that's death by misadventure. But again, 63 years old, who expects to die? That's my first question. If you're standing in front of a firing squad, you're laying on a table for a lethal injection, you walk into, a pack of hungry wolves, you're going to expect to die, okay? But otherwise, when are you expecting to die? I'm not expecting to die. It'll happen, So this coroner, sudden unexpected death. Well, yeah. I mean, right? I don't get that. What is an expected death? And then due to cocaine toxicity? So what? Is that a polite way of saying the old dude shouldn't have done cocaine and he OD'd? Right? That's what it is. You're 63 years old. Stop doing drugs like cheese-eating high school boys. All right? You're too old for that. Death by misadventure. I'm getting a stamp made that says that so I can just stamp death by misadventure. I picked up the toilet purchase today from the parking lot. I put it in the men's partition I already got last weekend. Brilliant. Brilliant. I mean, you might as well have. It was just going to sit out there. I don't think she was going to come back for it. It was too big. So, was the building still there? Because I didn't go down today. I couldn't. 5 days in a row was enough. I have to go back tomorrow and then Saturday. It was a lot. It's a lot. Yeah, you are an early adopter. You should see what it looks like now. It is just... I'll take pictures. I will do a full walkthrough when it's over. Once the windows come out of the studio. And then, honestly, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go... Because what was in there was crates of spray paint. I am absolutely just going to fucking graffiti the walls and just spray paint it and make it look like it's from a, 1980s abandoned horror movie. Just spray paint the walls, the floors, the ceiling, carpet, everything, inside of the doors. Why not? Right? I might invite people down to come do that. Just, big red A's for anarchy. Right? I think that'll be fun. And then we can make like we'll make what was that movie that they did that was that first movie? Oh, man. Yes, right. Interesting observation. The mention was covered in stickers. Ladies were covered in really sweet written notes. Boys will be boys, okay? Boys are messy. The girls were inspirational. They also had more time because the girls were sitting, okay? So they were sitting and they had time to write, where the guys are just like, sticker, go back and drink. Think about that. Blair Witch Project. I'll make my own Blair Witch Project. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make a Blair Witch Project short, The Haunted Radio Station. That's what I'll do. That sounds genius with no power. Oh, I can make the power like short on and off. Oh, yeah. Watch. We're going to make the Blair Witch Project, but it's going to be the radio station project. 2021 Travis Scott concert, Astro World Festival. That was today, the 5th of November in 2021. 10 people died and hundreds were injured as 50,000 people squashed, pushed, shoved, and moshed toward the stage. Scott and Drake were accused by many fans of not stopping the show when they clearly saw what was going on. Clearly saw lifeless bodies being pulled up from the fans, the crush, passed over toward the stage, clearly, and did not stop the show. Man, I've always, anytime I've been in a big concert like that, I always kind of think about that, even before 2021. Because, I've been in, if you've ever been to a big show where it just gets to be a squish, just a little bit, and that always just freaked me out. So yeah, I always kind of tried to make sure I was somewhere on the periphery, but definitely not dead center, because man, that's just, what a horrible way to go. Birthdays today. Roy Rogers, the singing cowboy, and of course of Roy Rogers restaurants, birthday today. The singing cowboy, he's from Cincinnati, Ohio. Okay, so there you go. That's how genuine Roy Rogers was. Cincinnati, Ohio. I didn't know that until today, and I was like, really? Come on. Cincinnati, Ohio? That's where Roy Rogers is from? Son of a bitch. Ike Turner, of Ike and Tina Turner, born today. Art Garfunkel of Simon and Garfunkel, born today. Graham Parsons of the Byrds and the Flying Burrito Brothers, born today. Peter Noon of Herman's Hermits. Bob Fisher of Naked Eyes. Always something there to remind me. Ba, 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 ba. Great song. I did listen to that one. David Moyes of Air Supply. Oh, that's a good one. Bryan Adams, 66 today. Ken Groomed, Uncle Tupelo and Wilco, birthday today. Johnny Greenwood of Radiohead, birthday today. Robert Patrick, Terminator 2. That's the one where he was liquid. The liquid Terminator. His birthday's today. Tilda Swinton, 65. She's always weird. What was the movie she was in? There was one that I saw recently that she was in. She was like the narrator. It was just really funny because she's just quirky. She's always kind of strange. And then Sam Rockwell, 57. Sam Rockwell today. I liked him in The Green Mile. He's just. There was another one he was in. 4 Cards or 4 Aces or something, or maybe 4 duffel bags, 4 heads in a duffel bag, something. I think that was it. Um, he plays a good, just psychotic actor. Just for some reason, just plays it off well. Um, and then the other one I found of any particular note that died on this day, besides the people from Drake and the 47 people killed in the train crash in London and everything else, was Jimmy Davis. You are my sunshine. You are my sunshine. He was 101 years old when he died. So apparently having a good spirit and making good, happy tunes maybe makes you live longer. I don't know. So I'm just going to sing happy tunes. That's where I'm at. See if I can live to be 101. I don't know if I want to be 101. I'd like to be a vampire and live to be 1,001. That would be kind of cool. I know everyone else would die, blah, blah, blah. Fuck it. What can I say, right? So tomorrow, I'll be back at it. I'll be back down there again, dealing with the whole lack of radio station stuff. And we'll see how that goes. Tomorrow will be an interesting one. I think tomorrow there's only 2 lots left that are big. Tomorrow is all the booths, all the tables from the bar. So every booth, all the tables are gone tomorrow. So that room will then be completely empty. The round bar is gone. Missing, like completely taken. Went to Mount Vernon, Ohio to have a new life up there. So that one's gone. The bar top, the main bar top, it's gone. So there's just the 3/4 wall left, and will be the only thing left in that room. There'll be nothing else. I don't know if someone's picked up the stage or not, but if not, I know exactly who's taking it because they're like, I want the stage. Some might just say take it anyway, and I just will refund the person whatever their $8 they probably spent for it. The green room's completely empty. There's nothing left in the green room. The lobby, except for my big sign that the city made me take down when I was doing stuff during the pandemic, is the only thing left in that room. The chairs are gone. The fire pit's gone. The fire pit of the apocalypse that Brian Phillips used during the apocalypse. The stereo, the desk, all that's gone. And then the other big lot is downstairs. And then once that's gone, there'll be nothing left downstairs. It's every filing cabinet. It's remaining desks. Just except for the center salespeople things, that's the only things that'll be left downstairs. And what's left in the studio because I can't do anything with the music. So that's weird. When that's gone, it's going to be weird. Because that bar's gone too downstairs. About 2/3 of it's actually removed completely and missing. And then there's like this little corner that's left, but there's nothing behind it. The dishwasher's gone. The kegerator's gone. The refrigerator's gone. It's just chaos. I am totally spray painting. I just thought about that. I'm absolutely going to spray paint it and make it look like it's been ransacked. Since it was, why not? I'll have some fun with it. Come on down, you can join me. And we'll film the Blair Witch Project, but we'll make it about the radio station and death and destruction. Thanks. Appreciate you. Nice to see new faces. This is great. I love it. Have a lovely, lovely Thursday because blue garbage cans are out. We'll do all this again. Thank you. Be well. And I look for you tomorrow. Fade into black. Fade into black. End of the stream.